Well, that's kind of rude to insult our guest.
I just started the pod. You can't.
That's
be saying.
okay.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the Real Stuff Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Stuff Podcast. My name is Carson.
And my name is Reese. And today we are joined by a very special guest.
Very special.
Erik.
Hey, make sure you do the clapping thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Say your name.
Erik Schlick.
Woo!
Ah.
The applause works.
Our live studio audience
Yes.
loves Erik.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
And
did
I
it.
love them.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Erik, thanks for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
It's great to
Oh,
have
sweet.
you. You came all the way from?
Kingsburg/Visalia. We're
Kingsburg.
moving right now, so
Yes.
Oh, dang.
Fun. Thanks for coming to record a podcast in the midst of moving. Did you leave your wife to move by herself?
I
While
mean,
you're
I had
recording this
been leaving
podcast?
her to do all the work all week.
Mm.
Let's be honest. So this is just
kind.
another opportunity
Yeah.
to do so. No, everything's pretty much moved.
Uh-huh.
We have to clean like 2 more rooms before we hand the keys over. But yeah, she's working hard.
Mm-hmm.
My wife Shawnee, she's brilliant.
Yes.
She's intentional. She's a hard worker. She's a doctor of physical
Oh.
therapy.
She is. I didn't
Yeah.
know this.
Look at that.
That's
Bagged
cool.
myself a doctor.
Yeah, you did.
Probably shouldn't say bagged. That sounds so
Probably
bad.
not. Don't say that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I just
You married a doctor.
I married.
Yes,
I
you did.
married. No, I didn't marry a doctor.
Oh.
I married Shawnee, and then she became a doctor.
Oh, okay. I get
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yes.
So do you call her doctor all the time?
I call myself Dr. Schlick, and she gets really upset
Because you're not actually a doctor.
because I'm of course not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm just a fool. And on top of that, I'm like, dude, we're one in flesh. Like everything,
Yeah.
we're all, so like,
It's
scripture.
spiritual that
It's
you're a
spiritual.
doctor.
I'm a spiritual doctor. That's
You
what I
have your spiritual doctorate.
That's so
Oh
good,
my
dude.
goodness.
How long have you guys been married? Tell us a little bit about how you met, that sort of stuff.
Nearly 4 years.
Okay.
So just over 3.5. So for years, been married to the old lady for years.
Oh, no. You're getting yourself in
so-
trouble today, buddy.
That's fine. It's all good. But yeah, we met through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Nice.
Talk right
Mutual friends, yeah.
you go.
So far away. There we go.
You moved
We met through a friend that she went to UCLA with, and came back, and we did a 4th of July float. And before we even hung out, the friend was like, "You're gonna want to date Shawnee." Like, she's
She
too
told
good
you
for
that?
Yeah, she's too good
Dang.
for you. And I was like, "Whatever, you don't know." She was right.
Yeah.
On all accounts, I wanted to date her, and she was too good. But yeah, that's kind of the
Nice.
story.
And how long were you guys together before you got married?
Gosh, trick questions. Maybe 2 years.
Okay. Maybe. Why
Maybe.
do you say trick
I
questions?
don't know. I have no idea. 3 years?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. We're gonna go by what you say.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess not.
About 3 years, I would say.
Okay.
Nice.
Dating / so 2 years dating, 1 year engaged.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Heck
Very
yeah.
cool. You can pull that closer to you.
I gotta
if
pull
you,
it closer,
If,
like,
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna-
can. You can.
There we go.
It's all. It goes pretty far because you can stretch them all the way to.
Well, I don't know. It's just, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no
This
convenient
is my first
way to-
time.
Oh, that's okay.
What are you smiling like that at me for?
I just haven't done this before.
Okay. All right,
Beautiful.
Carson, what you got, Carson? I feel like you got something for us.
I
Very
have
exciting.
a great question. I mean, if you want to get a little bit more comfortable,
Oh, yeah.
on the podcast,
Let's do
I
it.
normally start with a game, but first I have a question, and I'm also going to ask you, Reese, so you can prepare your answer.
Okay.
If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Any animal. Okay. So first I'll say that I've been told that I have a spirit animal.
Okay.
That I think is pretty funny, and I think it's true. When I was growing up, anytime there's a conversation like my sisters would be having, I'd like miss out on the first part of it, and I would be like super interested and like pop my head in and try to know what's happening.
Yeah.
And so they said that I was like a meerkat, like I'd pop up and like want to know what's happening. So they
Yeah.
called me a meerkat, and I think that's pretty fair. I don't know if that'd be something I'd want to be because they might be easy prey. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know.
And they live in the ground. That doesn't sound ideal.
No.
Yeah.
So like, if I got to choose an animal, probably like a cheetah
Yeah.
or some type of something that's like a cat that's cool.
Real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something fast. I'm not fast like that, but I'd
You're
want to
not?
be.
You look like you might be.
You actually do look like you
No.
would be really fast. I don't know why. I just
no,
assumed.
no, I can like. This sounds weird, but I can like jump and dive. really well, which is a weird skill to have.
Yeah, makes you good at
I did
spike
it like
ball.
this because of the spike ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
helps you be good at
But
spike ball.
I'm not actually particularly fast.
Okay. Well, I'm really fast.
Okay.
No, that's not
He's
true.
not really fast.
No, that's not
really,
true.
really slow.
All right, what animal are you?
I feel like it'd be cool to be like a spider monkey, like swinging.
That's the wrong answer.
Why do you mean that's the wrong answer?
I don't know. I just wanted
I
to.
feel like that'd be cool. Just like, or like maybe a flying squirrel.
Flying squirrel is an incredible.
It would be kind of cool.
I always used to want one of those like the squirrel suits, like the wingsuit things that you like jump
Oh
with.
yeah.
Like I always wanted one of those. And
What were you
So-
gonna do with it if you got it?
what else would you do with it other than jump out of planes and fly? Like what
I guess.
what else do you do with it, right? You have to. Well, I don't know.
You could
I
use
feel
it
like
for Halloween or to scare
Yes,
somebody, or
I guess.
I don't know, to give somebody a really good hug.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. You could do like you could sell hugs with your squirrel suit.
I kind of want to be a flying squirrel now though, because I want to be really good at climbing and I also want to be able to fly.
I feel like a spider monkey is a good option for that too.
You
just-
can't fly.
Well, I mean, you
as a
kind of
monkey.
they jump pretty far, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's
I
different.
don't know.
I think, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that your answer? You're flying
I'm
squirrel.
gonna be a flying squirrel.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal. I don't know if you said that, but I'm gonna steal it.
I'm gonna go with spider monkey. So meerkat. No, you said a cheetah. Meerkat
Yeah.
/ cheetah hybrid.
Yeah.
A spider monkey and a flying squirrel.
Squirrel.
We could be like a super animal team.
Put that on.
Hey,
a t-shirt.
people should comment what animal they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
What
let
animal
us
do
know
you-
what animal and why. Give us your reasoning.
Yes.
We want to know your
Tell-
reasoning as well.
and say which animal you think out of the three of us is the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
And-
I pick the worst,
And also, the third comment can be if Eric should be a meerkat or a cheetah.
was I right about the spirit animal thing? Was my family right?
Oh my
Or were
God.
my
By the end
sisters
of the-
just bullies?
By the
Childhood
by the end of the
trauma. It might
podcast,
be.
we'll try to decide. We'll
Yeah.
try to decide.
Yeah.
But I say we jump into the game, Reese. What do you
We
think?
should. I think we
Okay,
should break it
so
I
I
can't
don't
wait
know.
to win.
It's you probably will. Reese, actually, he's on a hot streak right
down.
now.
I haven't lost yet.
He's on a hot streak. Last season, he was notoriously terrible. I don't know how much Reese briefed you about the game, but it's
No.
the greatest game in the world.
It is, yeah.
So
Nothing like true or false.
nothing like true or false at all. So basically, I'm going to give you a random piece of just trivia. Like it could be something that's so true. Could be something that's like mostly true, but then I twisted it to make it not true. Or it
Okay.
could be something that is just a straight lie that I just completely made up. And so I'm going to give you that, and you're going to have to tell me whether you think it is RS, real stuff, because this is a real stuff podcast, or BS, bologna sandwich. 'Cause this is
Oh.
We are a
family-friendly
family-friendly podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say bull shark.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Not that. Where's bologna sandwich?
Bologna
But
sandwich.
that's a good option, though.
It's a
Well,
good
sure.
number,
Safe.
too.
It's safe, yeah.
Safe.
It's a little edgy. A little edgier than bologna sandwich.
That's fair.
But,
Anyway.
and
Bologna
so...
sandwich.
Just to give you like a little example of one that we've done in the past. This is one of our favorites that we like to bring up pretty much every
Yeah,
episode.
it's a great one.
So this was in the first episode that we did RS or BS. It was, and this is, I'm gonna have you guess actually.
Yeah.
People most likely already know unless they don't listen to the podcast. Is nearly 3% of the ice in Antarctica's glaciers is penguin urine.
Bull shark.
That's real stuff.
It's real stuff.
That's real
That's
stuff.
so.
That's real stuff. Okay.
Antarctica is huge.
Yeah.
And 3% of that apparently is penguin pee. I don't know how you know.
You know what I think's interesting is when penguins pee, do they pee in the water or they pee on land more?
I don't
'Cause
know.
it must be on land more. Because if it's in the water, it would just wash away, right? But
Or
if
how
it's on the
fast
land-
is it?
How fast does it actually freeze?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, is
Wow.
that not even count? Like, there's more in the ocean? Like, it's like,
Like, don't get me wrong, 3% isn't a lot, but like,
I
it's a
mean,
lot when you're talking about urine.
and it's
From one
also,
animal?
when you're talking about how much
Antarctica.
ice there, like, there's a lot of ice. in
Antarctica's huge.
Antarctica. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Antarctica real?
Well,
yes, I think so. That's where they found, isn't that
No
where
comment.
No comment.
isn't that where they found Megatron in the first Transformers
Oh,
movie? Or was
yeah.
that the Arctic? I feel like
I
it was
don't know.
Antarctica. Do you know?
I've heard it both ways.
Megatron. Megatron is often found in Antarctica.
Megatron is often found. All right, let's jump in. Okay, and I'm going to start us off with, I think it's a good one. So, RS or BS, skydiving on a Sunday is illegal for single women in Florida. So single women in
The Lord's
Florida
Day.
cannot skydive on a Sunday, apparently. RS or
Think about it.
BS.
So you have a female. They're single.
Yes.
Yes.
Like married single or like
Unmarried.
Unmarried.
yeah, but obviously like
Married.
a relationship like
I'm
fine.
I have unmarried written down.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
like they can't legally know if a relationship's
That's
happening
true.
unless
Sure.
it's married.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just this is real stuff. This is 100% real
Obviously,
stuff.
right?
Yeah. There's no way it can't be real stuff.
I'm gonna go with BS. Bologna sandwich.
And you are wrong.
Oh,
That
wow.
is real stuff, according to this website that I did not double check. So, I don't know why, but apparently unmarried women can be either imprisoned or fined for committing this crime of
Dang.
skydiving on a Sunday.
That is crazy.
Good news is they're not married, so nobody's gonna miss them if they go to prison. No, that was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh,
It was a
no.
Dude.
I mean,
wow.
maybe-
That was okay.
That was brutal.
That was brutal. Yeah.
We
I
can
don't
clip
know
that
what
part
the-
out.
Yeah,
That
we
should
don't
be
clip
cut out.
anything.
No, that's
we don't
going
clip
in.
nothing.
Dang it.
That's going in.
You gotta watch.
Well,
hey,
you've never had me on before. We might
I
have to.
should have warned you. Yeah, no clips. No, I'm just kidding. We can make adjustments, but
Oh,
probably
no.
But also probably not. All right. Hit me again.
All
I'm
right,
winning.
so I'm up. I'm down one.
You're down one.
Eric's up one.
I'm on the
Also,
scoreboard.
okay, I just have a question about that. What is the logic behind, like, on Sundays,
Yeah, I don't
you're
know.
single, can't skydive? I don't
No idea.
no idea.
And in Florida, like that's such a
In
random
Florida,
place for it to
yeah.
be. Like if it was like Arkansas, I mean that might make a little bit more sense than Florida. You know?
Yeah? You think?
Bro, Florida always has the Florida man. Like, there's always
Like,
crazy
that's
stuff
true,
happening
huh?
in Florida.
Crazy-
True.
Florida's got some crazy. We've had a
Yeah.
few Florida man things just in this game.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm necessarily surprised. I was surprised by this next one, or was I? It might not be true. Okay. I'm just violently intoxicated people in Japan get rolled into a burrito. RS or BS.
What do you mean get rolled into a burrito?
That's what I've written down. Is violent drunks in Japan get rolled into a burrito?
Oh,
I assume that
okay,
doesn't
I'm gonna
mean a
say
tortilla.
real stuff because I'm thinking they're getting wrapped so that they can't lash out and
Yeah.
do stuff. I'm saying real
I'm
stuff.
gonna say real stuff too.
That is real stuff.
Yeah.
So apparently,
Reese, how about you stop just copying my answers?
That was the first time I did that.
I'm pretty
First
sure
one
that
you got
you're
right,
just gonna- He's doing that on purpose because he missed it on his own.
Stupid.
So apparently, what they do is if you are like intoxicated
Yes.
and you are being disruptive to the public and violent, they get like a futon and they just roll you up in it.
Wow.
Keep you from being violent.
Yeah.
And hurting yourself too, because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you fall, oh no, I'm gonna take a nap. Oh well.
Wherever you're at. Stupid. Do they do this in public? Like they just bring out a futon. You're like, yo, get the drunk futon. Like they have futons in the back of bars. And
I don't
stuff.
know.
Yeah, do they
Good
clean
job.
these futons as well?
Yeah. Do people throw up in them? Do they throw them away after they throw up in them?
No.
I have so many questions.
That's part of the
Mitchell.
punishment.
I'm not.
Mitchell,
Mitchell.
we have a joke about you explain the joke. I don't know how to explain it.
So on another podcast, there's like the guy with a laptop who fact checks everything they say. Because sometimes me and Reese, we don't know. We could just be lying. and
Usually we do,
wouldn't know.
but sometimes we don't.
So in the first season, we were looking for someone named Mitchell to be our fact checker,
Yeah.
and we still do not have our
Yeah.
Mitchell. So if
Accepting
you
applications.
your name has to be Mitchell. So
we-
if your name is Mitchell, if you're willing to go by Mitchell, if you're willing to legally change your name to Mitchell,
Still can't pay you.
might not even be able to afford the Dr Pepper.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Happens. Anyway,
what are you
next
gonna
one.
do? Next one.
I don't think we want a fact checker.
No,
it's
it's
better.
better if it's just
Better content. if
Yeah,
not.
it's true.
then every literally everything we say. They're like, actually, no, that's not it at all.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Mm.
but
All
all right,
1-0 or 2-1. I mean.
2-1. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next up, wildlife explorers in the German mountains have discovered a new color.
BS.
In what year?
I don't know. I don't have it.
I'm gonna go
Recent?
with BS.
BS.
Yeah, that is BS. I have a question like about this. I always wonder: is it possible for there to be like different colors that we don't know about?
I have no idea.
Like, or do we know
Well,
them
ask
all?
Is it like
Ask Eric, he's
is it like an
college-educated.
infinity amount of colors because you can continue to like
Mix and match.
range
and-
of it?
I don't know. I mean,
If
this.
you can take two colors and mix them to make a color, and then mix in another color to make a different color, and then you can mix that color with another color and make it a different color.
Stop.
I thought if you mix enough
Stop.
colors, it
Stop.
gets to brown.
Restop.
I don't know,
I don't know.
but I don't know. That would be cool. I would like some more
I
colors.
just said BS so that I stayed in the lead no matter what.
I knew you did that on purpose.
Oh, well, you guys were both correct. That is a lie. There are no new colors. Unless there are. I don't know. I want some new colors, though. I feel like I need some new colors.
I'm fine. We
New
can't
colorway
see,
for the shirts,
anyway,
for the apparel.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can't see
Okay.
him anyway, so it's fine.
That's fair. Me and Reese are both colorblind. I don't know if you knew this.
That's impressive.
It is impressive.
You guys have so much in common.
All
You
colors.
should be best friends. You should start a podcast.
We should. All colors are new colors for us.
Yeah.
All right, next up. So Woody, you guys have seen Toy Story,
I
I'm
have.
sure. So Woody,
Yeah.
cowboy, snake in his boot, as you know. He was originally written as the antagonist in the first Toy Story movie.
RS.
Wait, he wasn't? Not checking. He was.
he was not the bad guy. RS.
Okay.
And he was going to be a ventriloquist doll, RSRBS.
Oh my gosh, that is so creepy.
It's
I
terrifying.
hope it's true. I'm saying real stuff too.
Dang it, Eric, I knew you were just doing this on purpose.
That is real stuff. That would have been really scary.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah,
been
that would
scary.
not have
Like-
been a child's movie or a kid's
No.
movie
Yeah.
anymore.
Scary. You know they're making another one?
Like
Toy Story
5?
5, yeah.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Are they
You
bringing
think it's
back?
gonna flop?
Probably. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I like Toy Story. I
Toy
think.
Story 4 was like or Toy Story 3 was like a good ending. They should just stop.
Did Toy Story 4 do well?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I haven't
I just
seen
remember they changed how Bo Peep looked, and that was weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
it. I didn't see it, but I,
don't-
believe
I
you.
don't notice female dolls like that.
Let's keep moving.
Next up, there was a campaign in the 80s to ban laceless shoes as they were viewed as unprofessional. RS or BS?
I'll go first. I
Yeah,
think it's
I
only
was
fair.
gonna
What
let
it-
you
what
go
was the
first
thing?
anyway.
Laceless shoes.
Laceless shoes. Shoes without laces.
In the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
there was a law that was trying to be passed. Is that what?
I don't know. It just said there was a campaign. I don't know if that meant that there was like they were trying to get a law or if it was just like a public thing. Like,
I'm gonna say real stuff. I don't think the campaign did well though.
I'm gonna go.
laceless shoes are everywhere. So,
Look
I'm
at
gonna
Crocs.
Go with RS.
do you guys both say real stuff?
Yes, we did.
Wow, this
on,
was your
guys.
opportunity to
I-
take the lead.
And you could have because
I
that
did
is
I
BS.
felt like it was real stuff though.
well,
Like, people tried to ban a bunch of stuff in the 80s. I feel like.
maybe, but
Maybe that's
that
wrong, I don't know.
that definitely wasn't it.
Dang it.
I made that up for sure. That was BS.
That was a good one. Good making up.
You guys really, I need you guys to step it up a little bit. You guys aren't doing.
I'm
wonderful.
doing pretty good.
I
I
feel
think that's
like,
the first one I've missed.
yeah. I just need one of you guys to do much
Alright,
better.
alright, fine.
Like I need there to be a gap.
I need one of you to do much better.
I just
Reese.
yeah. Okay, so I don't know how this worked. Anyway, people used to dream in black and white. RS or BS?
Yes.
Yes, that can't be real. Like people probably have dreamed in black and white, but there's no way that like you can have
That's
a blanket
weird.
statement. I can't wait
How
for
do
this
they
to be
know?
real stuff, and
Yes.
I don't know how you.
I'm gonna go with BS.
Yeah, it's BS.
That's real stuff.
What?
How?
Okay.
No.
How?
Okay.
Explain it to me.
So listen. So this is exactly what it said.
That's
on
it. I'm
the
out of here.
website.
Eric's done.
So before color TV was invented, 75% of people said their dreams were in black and white.
Huh.
Yeah,
Now-
well, 75% of people were wrong. They didn't remember their dreams
I do
correctly.
declare. I
And-
do declare.
Now only 12% claim to have dreams in
Who
black.
are these people? I've never been asked that.
Reese, you dream in black and white?
No.
Good job. You're in the 88%, whatever that is.
All right. Well, you asked us to do better, and then you came up with this garbage.
Yeah.
Look, you guys just need to step it up. All right.
That was
Next
so
up.
ridiculous.
All right, next
Next
up.
up. I don't even know what the score is. I just know that you're losing.
I'm up by one.
He's
I'm
up
proud
by
of you
all
one.
for that,
matters.
'cause Actually, I really need Reese to lose,
Yeah.
but
I
I want
got
him to
this.
lose by a lot. So I need you to like really pull ahead.
There's
All
no
right.
way. How many more are there?
There are two more.
Okay.
So
Let's rapid fire.
potential
Let's
to be up
rapid
by
fire
3.
these.
All right.
Let's do it.
Lawmakers in Bulgaria have decided to proceed with a motion that bans Cheez-Its nationwide, and
Nice.
now the stock price of goldfish in that area is
Real stuff.
skyrocketing.
Real stuff.
No, that's BS.
Dang it.
No, I did. I completely made that up. But
Seems so believable.
I know.
Right?
Dude, those one's some crazy ones.
Man,
like-
I was hoping for some snacks right now.
now I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently, would that work as well? Like, if they banned Cheez-Its, would stock of goldfish go up?
I don't know.
Because I just threw that in there. I thought that would be a giveaway, but
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if the stock.
are they?
of that company would go up because of that.
Well, I didn't know if people would like if they knew that Cheez-Its were going away, if they would be like, oh, now's the time.
Oh,
to
they're
invest.
stocking up themselves. They're buying a lot.
No,
Oh,
the
I meant
stock,
like
the
people
stock
are
price.
buying into goldfish
Wait,
because
are there stocks in Bulgaria? Is
I
that a
don't
dumb
know
question?
how it works. I
that
made
would've
this
been a
up.
good
It's
This-
on the line.
Yeah.
I made this up. Let's say
Whatever.
U.S.
Next one.
tomorrow
This is
decides
dumb.
to ban Cheez-Its.
All right.
I'm upset.
You're doing too good of a job of confusing us.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right, last
All
one.
right, this is my last one.
It's a big one.
There are fewer real flamingos in the world than plastic flamingos.
So there's
Real
fewer
stuff.
fake ones. That's real stuff.
There are
stuff.
there are fewer real
Real
ones.
Real stuff. Disagree with
So
you.
there
I
are,
understand
there,
this
are
correctly.
more, there are more plastic flamingos.
Yeah, that's real
That's
stuff.
real
That's
stuff,
real stuff for sure.
That is
I've
definitely
heard that
real
stat
stuff.
before.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before, but that is
Like the ones you see on lawns and stuff
Proud
like
of you.
that. There are more of those
Yeah.
than there are actual flamingos.
Huh.
So is a flamingo technically an endangered species, or is it just
I don't know.
we have such a ridiculous amount of infatuation with flamingos that we've created so many plastic ones?
Yeah,
That's a great question.
And how
Maybe
much
it's-
waste?
Maybe it's
How
a
much
bit of
waste
both.
is that?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
in our ocean?
I don't know.
No.
No one would throw away their flamingos.
I've thrown away a flamingo. it was like
We're gonna have
decomposing. It
we're
was
gonna
like
have
cracking.
what's her name coming after plastic flamingos next? What's her name? The girl from
Greta
Greta Thunberg. She's coming
Mm.
after plastic flamingos now.
because of this podcast.
Because of this
you think she's a
podcast.
listener?
Probably.
We have celebrity listeners.
Yep.
Crazy.
We do.
You don't.
So I just,
You might.
I just lost.
You did.
We'll
You
see.
just lost, and I'm proud of you for losing, and I'm proud of you more for beating him. Congratulations, everybody. That's all I have.
That was
So-
well done.
Congratulations.
Thank
That was
you.
amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can I get my clap?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Studio audience.
Live studio audience.
Thank
yes, that was good. Eric, we have some
Yes.
slogans. I hear that
like
you have a
some
lot.
sayings,
Yes.
some slogans.
That's what I've been told. I've been told that
We've
there
been
are
told.
some
We've been told this
by a reliable
by a reliable source.
I don't know how reliable, but it could be.
source.
Dinosaurs.
Do you have like a thing with sayings? Like you really like your sayings?
I don't know if I do like sayings. I'm not saying like mine are
The best.
superior.
Sure.
I would like to implement more sayings because I think it's really cool. You know, like my grandpa and like everybody's grandpa has like those dumb sayings that almost don't make sense or like are
Yeah.
just a joke or something.
Yeah.
And it's fun to like. You don't want to get monotonous, but it's fun to like kind of know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen
Yeah.
next, you know, and like have a commonality of
Mhm.
being like, oh, we just know that this is something we say or
Yeah.
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 things like that. So most of mine come from shows, the ones recently.
Yeah.
So have you watched Ted Lasso?
I have.
I have
Great
not
show.
watched Ted Lasso.
You need to.
I will.
And one of the quotes in it is be curious, not judgmental, which I think is a very good quote to have and like reminder to in conversations when it's a lot easier to judge somebody when you
Oh,
see
yeah.
somebody. So if you were just to be curious and ask them questions about why they are the way they are,
Yeah.
probably learn something.
So I have a
I
question
ask
about
Reese
that.
that often. I say, Reese, why are you? the way you are?"
yeah, that's also.
I have a
another
question
thing.
about that. So we'll talk a little bit more later, but you work with youth,
Yeah.
kids.
Mhm.
How in your ministry job, that's what you do.
Yes.
How have you implemented that a lot in your or has that been a challenge for you to implement that?
I
a
don't
little
think
bit
it's
about
I don't think it's a challenge. I've definitely implemented it. Not necessarily that saying to students.
Sure.
But what I have realized is I'm not that interesting. And
I
so another
disagree.
thing, thank you. But I'm not that interesting to high schoolers.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Me neither.
every high schooler and every person desires to be interesting and have somebody take an interest in them.
Mhm.
So it's a lot better to be interested than to try to be interesting. And so like when I go to a student, I ask them questions and be like, wait, so you do this sport and you do that, or tell me about your family. That's so unique. That's so different. Like not that I'm lying to them. They are unique and different.
Yeah.
But it's way better to be, interested than interesting.
Yeah.
People that come up and try to tell you how interesting they
Yeah.
are, and you're
Cool
just
they are.
like, I'd rather not listen to you.
Never comes off well, does it?
No.
Yeah.
Now, have you had to improve on that? Was it something you were just good at immediately? Like coming from
No,
that
I'm
frame of mind, or
Definitely not. I wasn't good at that immediately, but it just within the first year, I realized, oh
no one cares?
yeah,
Oh, these kids don't care.
nobody cares about me. No,
Oh, wow.
no, I just realized it's just
Some
it didn't
depressing
It
revelation.
didn't get us as far.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't get me as far. And realistically, that's what I'd want to do.
Sure.
And you see the way Jesus interacts with people. He was interested. He was, another thing that I like to say is, like Jesus was interruptible. Like he was always on the go doing something. He was on mission, but like he was very easily interruptible. He liked to be interrupted. Like most of the miracles happened, most of the things happened when he allowed himself to be interrupted. So
Yeah.
that's another one. What about you, Reese, or Carson? You got some sayings that you like?
I don't know if I have saying. See, I just kind of quote things as they come. So, but I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head that I say consistently. Do you?
I have like I go through like little. I don't know if there's anything like profound that I have sayings, but I go through like words of things that I
Words.
say all the time.
Yeah.
Like a one-word
Like one
statement.
word statement. Like
Like literally Reese.
Like serendipitous.
I don't know if it's ever been that.
Like Reese will
I don't know if serendipitous is a word I've ever
Well,
used.
picture much smaller words.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
say all the
and it's
time.
not even like
Like they mean nothing.
like things that are like Reese got obsessed with the word dope for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's
Just
dope. That's
as, like,
dope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dope. Like
I say that
awesome.
all the time,
And it was his whole, not your whole personality.
pretty much.
There was a lot
my
of
gosh, that would be
like it was
crazy.
excessive enough to where my mom got him a shirt and a hat that just said like dope on it because she thought it was hilarious.
Now, disclaimer: I was not doing drugs.
There was no
There was
no
no
dope
drugs.
involved.
Yeah, there was
Disclaimer: you and every 7th grader had that shirt in Larry County.
Yeah, that's true.
Except I'm pretty sure that Reese got into the word dope. I can't say got into dope. He got into the word dope
yeah,
in high school.
yeah.
It was
It was in high school
It was-
for sure.
He got really into dope.
It was early.
Dope
It was an
ain't
early onset.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't. It wasn't.
yeah.
He didn't catch the wave late. He was on early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I've wanted to do recently, I've been trying. Like, I don't know if I genuinely have been trying to, but I really want to. I just want to start using words that I think are funny, like words that
Like
are
moist.
right. Not even that. Like words that I just think are funny. Like someone asks how my day is. I just want to say like splendid. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I think that's
You do
like,
do those things though.
like-
you do use those words.
I try my best, but like I don't know why, but I think that's hilarious.
like
I don't think
dandy.
anyone else does. But
Dandy's good. I like
Dandy's good.
when people say swell.
Yes, I like
oh,
that.
I
that's
feel like
a
you're an
good
old
word.
person.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything's going swell.
I'm gonna start using.
you know
swell
what?
now. I decided I was gonna bring back groovy a few months ago. I was like, I'm gonna bring
Ooh.
back groovy.
I have one that
kind of
actually
fell off, but we're bringing it back. I've just
Might need to double
decided.
down on it.
Yeah.
I think we need to bring back. Can you guys help me out? Actually,
I'll
I want to bring back groovy. Can you help me out,
I'll-
audience? We're bringing back groovy.
Yeah, we are. I have one that
I'm
actually
bringing
my
Groovy
dad
back.
shared it with me a couple weeks ago. It's a Kobe quote, and it's what are you laughing at?
I don't know.
You're laughing, and
I
it's
thought this was gonna be a joke, and then I
no,
realized
it's,
it wasn't,
It's serious,
and
no,
I
it's
couldn't
serious.
help but smile still.
It was don't. It was like did he tell you it was like don't negotiate with yourself. Like when you're like, because he was referring to, I think in like training, like when he said, "Oh, I could go do this," or like, "Don't negotiate with yourself. You have to, what you have to do, and you don't make any excuses or bargains with yourself on you're gonna do this instead of train or whatever."
What's on your
So,
finger?
I don't know. I found it. It's like a little rubber band thing.
It's like,
That's a
is
good-
it one of those like
that's a
fun
good
rubber
quote.
bands?
It's a good quote, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's been on my. It's literally just been the last couple weeks. I think he shared it with me like 2 weeks ago.
Dude,
I like that too, because the idea is you're negotiating or like doing that with yourself. You're gonna lose. You're the only one in it.
Exactly.
You have to lose. There's no winner in that
Yeah.
negotiation battle.
I always win.
Yeah, I mean, but for Reese, let's be more realistic.
Reese isn't quite as groovy as I am.
Whatever.
Have you guys seen the show? I can't think of what it's called right now. Oh, the bear.
Is it the show with
The bear?
with the, chef, the
The
bear?
bear?
The
I haven't
bear.
watched it, but
Okay,
I know it's.
haven't
I've heard it's great.
Disclaimer: don't watch it if you don't like cussing.
Oh.
It's like crazy, but
Mm.
it's like a really good drama,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that they film and they use sound and timers and stuff, it like puts you on edge, where you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out for them. You like feel like you're in the kitchen, like you're just like bumping into people. You're not. You're just sitting on the couch, but you feel like so in it.
Yeah.
And one of the things he does two quotes or things is he like takes his hand and like goes like this and rubs like over his heart,
Okay.
like in a circle. And it means like, I messed up, my bad, but we don't have time to talk about it. Just know that I realized I messed up.
So
Like if they're in the kitchen and he's like super rude to somebody and he sees that like it changes their attitude or something, he'll just be like, I messed up.
Okay.
And then it say like, we'll talk about it later, but we don't have time. Let's keep moving.
Yes.
You know, because they're in a high intense thing. I've done that. I've like adopted that one because like we'll be out and we'll be hanging out with friends or family or something, and we're just having a conversation, and either like I'll cut off Shawnee when she's talking, or I'll say a joke that came off different than I thought, or something, and I can see Shawnee. I can read Shawnee like a book.
Sure.
I see she changes, and we'll talk later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's been pretty helpful.
Actually,
Yeah, it's been really cool.
does she do the same thing? Well, does she ever?
She's never done anything wrong. No, I'm joking. She's obviously done things, but yeah, no, I believe it or not, I've had to use it more. I'm surprised
Really?
I've had to use it more.
I
than
would
she
never
has.
have guessed.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's another saying from the show, which is "Let it rip." Which I like that, like just like
Beyblades.
It's almost like full send. You know, like let it rip.
Oh, send it.
Send it.
Send.
Forgot about that.
That was a while ago.
Jerry of the day. You guys
Jerry of the
you watch any of those?
Forgot about those, dude. Oh my gosh, that was like that was a while ago. Let it rip. Do you use that one on a daily basis?
Not yet,
Not yet.
because I'm not letting it rip enough yet. Like I just gotta.
Do you have any do you have any slogans or sayings that you do use? Like you're like, oh yeah, or like even to yourself that you think on a daily basis?
When somebody says something wrong or different, like tomato, like I don't know where I got this from.
Like that you disagree with people?
No, where it's like you say it two different ways.
Oh, like the
Like I
actual
said it.
pronunciation?
Like I said it earlier. Like whether it's like one way or another, I said I've heard it both ways. You know, where you like you let them off the hook, where it's like, oh yeah, I've heard it both ways, or like
Gotcha. Or
it doesn't even have to be the way you say something.
Or potato.
Yeah. But for me, I just think it's funny. Like, oh, I've heard it both ways, where it's like, even if it's so wrong, it's like, there's no way I've heard it. You've heard it that way. I think it actually comes from the show Psych.
Okay.
I've heard about it. I haven't watched that show either.
It's
I watch a lot of shows.
pretty funny. These are all from a long time ago. I used to watch Psych with my dad. Has a lot of 80s references that I don't really get, but they're funny still.
Yeah. He got
I'm
them.
not that old,
Yeah.
but he loved it, yeah.
Yeah. Have you picked up, because I know, and kind of going into our next thing that we were, I know you've lived in a couple different places. Where have you lived? And follow-up question, have you picked up any sayings from different places that you lived?
Yeah. So, I've been working for the last 4 years with Younglife, which is a youth outreach organization. It's all about bringing Jesus and his teachings to adolescents rather than expecting students that don't know Jesus to show up at your doorstep or at the church or something like that. And so one of the sayings that is used within Younglife is earn the right to be heard. And so we and then the second one that I really like too that we say often is it's a sin to bore a student with the gospel because it's the greatest story ever told. And so through Younglife, I've lived in a few different places because my parents also did that. So grew up for the first 5 years in Visalia, and then moved to Argentina for a year.
Oh,
What the?
heck?
And Argentina is beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing country. So lived there for about a year with my family when I was 5. So I learned the alphabet in English and Spanish, or not really at all. I struggled with reading and learning for like years after that because it was just such a hard transition. And I'm just a slow learner, not that smart.
Do you remember living in Argentina a lot?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah, I remember. I feel like I remember a lot, even though I was just 5. But that could also be because I've been back since.
I was gonna ask if you
Okay.
So
gone
it
back.
kind of like
or-
brings
Refreshes
back
your
those
memory,
memories,
sure.
you know. And so, and then after high school, we lived in Tulare. I went to Tulare Union. Went to FPU for a year and played water polo there.
Nice.
And then I decided I didn't want to be at such a small school. Dropped out and went back to Argentina for just under a year and helped with the training of Young Life leaders there and served there and just got to live and kind of learn some stuff. Some of the sayings from there. Okay, I don't know how these translate all. And so I don't even know if I want to say one of them because it could be inappropriate, but it's just so funny that I want to say it, but maybe I won't. But so here's the appropriate one. Is so like if you have like an older brother or like so let's say you have a sister.
Okay.
And you're the older brother or you're the dad or something and you see like somebody that might be attracted to her or want to date her or something and you just go like this and go, ojo, which is obviously means eyes. Just like, I got my eye on you. You do anything, I'm watching, you know? Which I like just like the idea of just an ojo.
Oh, as
like,
in
ojo, like
I give that to the person that likes my sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see something happen and you just go, you don't have to say it. You just go like this and they know.
Oh, wow.
Good to know.
We should implement that.
Yeah, just like know you have your eye on something. You already have that, dude. You don't have to implement much.
to little fools.
Oh.
Because we have a younger sister
We do.
who's going to be a senior in high school.
Yeah, like after today, she's gonna be a senior.
Yeah. And so we could do that to them when they come on. That was
It doesn't look.
And
as
they'll be
cool
like,
when
are you
do
trying
it,
to
though.
put a contact in or what's going on?
no.
Sorry, my contact fell. Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm saying there's going to be contact
Yes.
if you do anything.
Mama
That
said
was
to knock
that
you
was
out.
pretty good.
And
Have
then
you used that? Because do you have a younger sister?
I have a younger sister, but no,
Okay.
I haven't
You
used
never
it.
use it.
And then another thing that a saying would be, well, they use the word che,
Okay.
and it's like dude,
Okay.
kind of. And so you can use che for anything.
Yeah.
But there's also another term. I don't know exactly how it translates, so I don't know if I should say it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. Okay. Forgiveness is
Just a
king.
warning if it's not.
Yeah.
So it's a saying called che boludo,
Okay.
Okay.
and it means like, hey, idiot.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like in a friendly way. You say it to your friends, you know, like you're an idiot,
Yeah.
or like more aggressive, like you're a jack, something.
Yeah.
But it also translates for some reason into maybe, I've been told, that you have large.
Oh no.
You're like yeah. We gotta,
We're gonna
yeah.
cut you off.
It's like
no.
You're brave.
you're brave.
Okay.
You're brave.
Gotcha.
Nice.
But like you're brave, but you're an idiot. Like you're doing something dumb.
Okay.
Does that so? It's a weird term.
Yeah, it's a weird
We
translation.
can move on from that.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
then
move
after
on.
I got back from Argentina, I went to Arizona and went to GCU, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like an incredible campus to just play sports and do a bunch of
Play spike
fun
ball?
stuff. Yeah, I played way too much spike ball. I travel all over the place playing spike ball, which was fun. And then I moved back here, was in SLO for like 6 months because I was like, I'm finishing up school online. I can live in
Heck yeah.
San Luis for cheap, and I'll never be able to live there again,
Yeah.
probably.
True.
So went there for 6 months, then I came back and then moved to Kingsburg for 4 years. And now today we are fully moved out.
Nice.
And we're back in Visalia. So
Where are you
that's the
living in
thing.
Visalia?
Miracle.
we actually put all of our stuff into a shed to store, and we are staying with Shawnee's parents. So pray for us
Okay.
for 2 weeks
Okay.
or a week and a half. Then we'll go to camp. I'm finishing out with Younglife with a camp trip. I'm so excited.
That's
We're
gonna
gonna
be
take a
fun.
bunch of students to camp, and then we go to Europe for like 5+ weeks.
Nice.
So we just didn't want to pay rent for these 2 months if we're not going to be here.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, those are the things.
You've lived a lot of places. You got around everywhere.
I didn't.
I've got around.
I didn't realize that Young Life was like what's the word?
Worldwide.
International. Yeah,
Mm.
I didn't know that that was
Yeah.
like. For some reason I just assumed that it was America.
Yeah. So the most staff people we have is definitely in the U.S.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in over 100 countries.
Wow.
Wow.
We've been around
I didn't
since
know that either.
1941. So right around that World War II time is when it started. Started out of Gainesville, Texas, with a guy named Jim Rayburn, and he started the Young Life campaign, and it's grown ever since then. But yeah, it's a really awesome ministry where we just believe that whether kids want it or not, kids need adults in their life that care, and they need the gospel. And So it's really beautiful to see like all the different countries that do it and how it looks different.
Yeah.
Like it looks very different than what you see in the U.S. Because it has to. Like,
Yeah.
it just isn't the same.
I like that saying that you said, earn the right. What did you, it was
Earn the right to be heard.
earn the right to be heard. I
Yeah.
like that. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, it's like you don't care how much somebody knows until you know how much they care.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the same? Something like that. Very
Okay.
similar. Where the idea is if we don't spend the time showing up to the JV basketball game, or to the band practice, or go on campus and just have a relationship, they're not going to care what we have to say.
Mm.
Street preaching doesn't work very often. Like, it's not impossible, and we're actually called to do it at times, but we're also called to live relational lives. And so we see Jesus, that was his method. He went around and preached on the streets too, but he went really deep with 12 disciples, and that changed the rest of history, So that's kind of what we like to do. We want to get out, get to know students, show them that they don't have to show up to our events for us to know them by name or care about them.
Yeah.
And I've been to a lot of really, really bad sporting events to support students. And
That's good on you.
many students have sat on the bench the whole time. And
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah, you were.
And you got to get creative with what you talk about with them after the game because they didn't play.
Yeah.
But
What was your methodology for that?
for talking to students after,
Yeah.
I'd be like, so if they lost or wanted, maybe it'll be a little bit different. If they lost, sometimes I just don't focus on the game at all.
Yeah.
But if their parents are there, then I'll like try to talk to their parents a little bit,
Yeah.
connect with them, and then for students, I would normally try to just ask them about how classes are going or something that's not related to the sports team because they probably don't want to talk about it if they didn't play.
Yeah.
And it's okay to talk about those things, but they're aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're aware
You
that
need to
they
point
didn't
it out.
play.
Yeah.
They're aware that
Yeah.
So it's
You're gonna
funny.
be like,
Normally I
so
focus
you-
on different things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, when I first got into Younglife, it was like a weird time for all of that because it was COVID was when I started serving at Younglife. So we couldn't actually, there was nothing going on for us to go. So I remember, I don't know if you were on them because we were leaders at the same time for a brief 3 seconds in Tulare County.
Yeah, I started in Kingsburg right before COVID hit. So I wasn't in Visalia during COVID.
Okay.
But I had all the same things in Kingsburg.
Yeah. So we would do club on Zoom.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It was, there was definitely there was some enjoyable times during it. We would play Mafia. We
that's
had to
fun.
get creative,
Yeah.
which was hard, but
Yeah.
so it was a little bit different. My experience with Young Life because a large majority of it was COVID, and then slowly we were able to do campaigners
Yeah.
with a small group, and so
There's
yeah.
a lot of ways that COVID did cut the legs out from underneath Young Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's all about being with students and being around students,
yeah,
and that just wasn't possible. But it did help in some ways kind of remember, we don't just put on big events to put on big events.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
a purpose.
You know what I mean?
Party with purpose.
Yeah, party with a purpose. I love clubs, but at the end of the day, the contact work's so much more important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's not many kids that get saved at a club,
Club. Yeah.
but there are a lot of kids that 5 years after high school say, I want to get connected with God again and get in a church or do something because I remember how much my Young Life leader cared
Yeah.
and gave me rides home after games or whatever it is. So yeah, COVID was interesting.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
They got us.
Yeah.
They caught us.
It won.
Yeah, they did. That's okay.
Quite
You're
the
covered.
time. Mhm.
Yeah. So you're no longer, you're finishing out Young Life, but you're making like you said in the beginning, you're moving, you're transitioning.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
Yeah, I get to be part of Radiant Visalia Church.
Okay.
Shawnee and I were planning to reevaluate everything after she was done with her doctorate program. She just finished, and so she's working in Visalia. We decided we probably would move as well, and it just so happened that some things opened up, and I'm going to be the youth director at Radiant Visalia. So I'm super excited.
Is that just youth group, or is that kids, like all of that, or just high school and junior high?
No, so yeah, that's high school, and so for the first year, I think I'll oversee high school fully, and we already have like really talented people that are doing a great job with junior high.
Okay.
So I might provide some support,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so it's just high school right now,
Okay.
which is amazing. I'm very excited, and I don't know if you know a lot about Radiant Visalia, but they got it's a high calling that I get to jump into because they have the parents at that church and the families are just so strong,
Mm-hmm.
and they're raising their kids very, very intentionally to be passionate Jesus followers, and so like
There's a lot of kids, right?
yeah, there's it's a growing church, and there are a lot of kids there, so yeah, I'm just super excited and thrilled that I get the chance to be part, like a small part
Mm-hmm.
of these students' lives, and know that most of these students are being like discipled intentionally by their parents.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that kind of makes, well, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. Kind of makes your job a little bit easier when you know that the parents are being very intentional rather than just, because I feel like there's sometimes where youth group can just turn into like parents are like, okay, go. And I'm not trying to tell parents how to parent, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Like babysitting type of thing. Right?
Yeah. Or like relying on the youth leader to
Yeah.
raise their kids.
yeah, and I think that the church has a very good understanding, and so does the leadership of the
Mhm.
church, knows that my job isn't to disciple every single young man that comes to the church.
Yeah.
Like that's the family's job,
Yeah.
and that's the leaders that I'm gonna have with me on my team, and I'm part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited. I don't feel like I have to run it alone. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of overlap,
Yeah.
and it's just a very, very gifted and capable church. So
Mm.
I feel really excited
Yeah.
about the opportunity and the opportunity for me to grow. I feel like I'm gonna get poured into a lot and grow a lot. There's a lot of ways that I could grow.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Is it a like would you say it's additional more responsibility than Younglife? How do you think the difference in roles would be between the Younglife area director and now the youth?
Yeah. That's a good question. So I think there's a lot more responsibilities in different areas with a Younglife position because you have to raise funds, recruit leaders a lot more. I mean, I still am going to recruit leaders, obviously, at the church, but there's you have to create a committee.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different hats you wear. You need to talk to older donors and communicate with them, and then talk to high schoolers. And that's still true within the church, especially since we have a multi-generational church at Radiant. But I think there's less different hats to wear, but I'm really excited about the areas of growth that I'm going to have within being led by the pastors and being mentored. And so there's maybe a little bit more of pouring into an education side for me
Gotcha.
within the Radiant role.
Nice.
Yep.
That'll be very exciting. And is Shawnee helping you with?
She'll help with youth, yeah.
But she's mostly a doctor.
Yeah, she's mostly. we're both mostly doctors, but she's also
Yeah.
equal in every way.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Schlick.
No.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I'm just imagining the trouble that you're gonna get into if she
Oh.
listens to this podcast.
What do you think the chance is pretty low that she listens to this podcast? We're not going to get offended. You were not going to get offended, by the way.
I think that
don't
there's
care.
a chance that
She
I think
turns
she-
off
I
after
think
the
she-
first minute?
I think she'll listen. It just depends on how much she's driving soon. If she listens to it in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Shawnee, if you make it, you make it this far,
We're sorry.
we're. Yeah, no, just kidding.
yeah, and welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah,
to the
welcome
podcast
as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you for welcoming.
but also
our
sorry.
guests to our podcast. Oh my
man.
gosh.
I don't know. I'll tell her to listen. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want her to hear this.
Yeah.
I want her to
Then
know.
she can correct you if you
Just
ever
this
said
part or
anything.
the whole thing?
Yes.
Yes, the entire thing. So next thing we have written down, we kind of brainstormed a little bit before, but you were raised in church,
Yeah.
right? Well, yes, you were raised in church, but you also went to church in Argentina. And how is that like? when were you always in church at all times of your life, even when you moved out and away? Like, were you pretty because you went to Christian colleges?
Yeah.
But were you always the same? Like, how did your levels of dedication? I guess I'm just curious.
Yeah. That's fair. I think most people have a very different story, even if they sound similar.
Sure.
Like we might have been raised in the church. Did all three of us get raised in the church?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, but I'm sure our stories looked quite different because each church looks different and each parenting style looks different. And so, my upbringing was always partnered with we're in a church and we do Younglife as a ministry. And so I always saw God move in ministry through Younglife. I didn't see it as much through the church, not in a bad way. I just didn't see as much. And I was the kid that always, didn't want to be at church. Really, didn't want to sit through a service. Was bored. Always enjoyed worship, but I can't sing to save my life. So nobody else enjoyed it around me, probably.
The Lord enjoys it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Really, throughout high school, I would do my best to kind of sleep in and say I was too tired to go to church, whether that was true or not, And my junior year, Radiant Visalia used to be at a building over by the Oval in downtown Visalia. And my older sister started going there. And so I went to that church service, and I was like, I want to be here. And so it was always like all right, are we going to our normal church or are we going to Radiant? That's what I would ask when my mom came to wake me up. Like, which church are we going to? We're going to Radiant. All right, let's go. I'll get out. And that's partially on me. Like I know that I need to die to myself and my desires, even around church stuff, So it wasn't healthy, but it was where I felt God moving the most. So after high school, went to college, was here and there at some churches in Fresno for that first semester. And then in Phoenix, I went to a church. Dang, it feels like it was so long ago. It was called like City Church. It was in downtown Phoenix. And I'd probably say I went twice a month at most. It was okay. We had a lot of chapels on campus that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I was still plugged in, had community, but not so much in a church setting. And then came back and, started going to Radiant again until I was in Kingsburg. And we are just leaving our church in Kingsburg to come back and work here. But we are at a church in Kingsburg called Kingsburg First Baptist, and it's amazing. All the pastors are really awesome. I'm friends with them, get to hang out, pray together. I'm like the unwanted staff person. I would like show up and sit in on some of their meetings and stuff, and they'd just let me be there.
Yeah,
it was great.
That's cool.
And they partnered really well with Younglife. So
did you get to learn a lot from them too? When you were there,
definitely. The head pastor, I think I learned from him about how to give authority. Okay. I think that it's really important as believers and believers that are in positions of authority ourselves to lavish on and give authority to young believers and say, hey, I think you can do this, and you might not know how, and that's a good spot to be, because then you're going to have to rely on the Lord, So learned that from the head pastor. Esteban, the next-gen pastor / I don't know what his role is now. I think he's moving into a new role, which I don't know if is public knowledge. Okay, now it is. Let's go.
Spoiling the secrets.
Yeah. Clip it. Let's go. I'm going to put it on Twitter.
We don't. Yeah. X.
So, and I've learned from him a few things. I think that he sits really well with people, sits and listens really well with people, and then he has he hates school and education, but he wants to learn. Like, he's a really good learner, and the way he reads books and just communicates what he's understood and learned is what I've kind of picked up from him. So, so those are some of the pastors, and so we're leaving there, and that was a hard bye, but we're excited to get back to Radiant.
And you can be closer to Reese and Carson to play spike ball.
That is true.
I'm a little nervous now to play spike ball. Because I love spike ball, but I'm not that good.
Eric's a pro.
I know. That's why I'm nervous.
Because we did this, I guess I have to say yes to playing spike ball at least once.
Yes. Probably, right?
I've been bugging you. I feel like on and off I've been bugging you to play spike ball for so long.
Who
Yeah,
are you not
kind of.
bugging?
I'm retired, so
You retired? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, I just don't play.
How old are you?
I haven't played in
26?
years.
27?
I'm 29.
You're 29?
Dang,
Wow.
it looks like you just thought I had a death sentence. That
No, that's not what I meant.
Your
I
face.
just thought you were
29?
No,
I'm
not
so
saying-
sorry.
I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying.
Sorry, I'll be praying for you.
yeah, right.
I'll be praying for my knees and joints and everything.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that instead. No, I thought for some reason I thought you were like 26, 27.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah.
Oh,
My bad. I was born earlier than you thought.
I know,
That one's on me.
gosh.
I'll blame my mom.
were you alive in the 80s?
No, that's not how math works. But I, but I do love you.
I dropped
90
out of
95.
college. My bad.
I was born
because
in
that is college math. Stuff.
Heard it here first, guys.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
So you said that so Esteban, the way he reads books, you mentioned the way he reads books, this pastor. Did you, because we were talking a little bit before about books that you've been reading and things that you've been learning.
Yeah.
Did you adopt any ways of reading books from him? Do you have
So-
your own way of doing it?
I think that I also don't like education. So what I meant by that was like not liking education as much or being like one that's going to seek out education doesn't give you a right or a pass
To not.
to
learn.
not learn.
Yes. Yeah.
And so like the posture of being a learner is what I think I saw from him and kind of picked
Okay.
up on, and then the way he kind of communicates and brings some of those things in. And so like maybe most people do or don't know, but John Mark Comer is a really famous author. I think you've read
Yeah. I've read one of his
Ruthless
books.
Elimination of Hurry.
Yep.
And he has some other really good books. The one I'm just finished reading was Practicing the Way. And it also has like an online platform that you can do with friends and family.
Oh, that's
And you
cool.
can like sit down and you learn a lesson, and then that next week you just practice that lesson.
Huh.
It's like, oh, we're gonna learn about what Sabbath means, and it's like a little video series, and it's all like actually aesthetic and cool, and it's free. It's amazing.
That's cool.
And then this next week you're like, okay, we're gonna Sabbath, and maybe we can only Sabbath for like half a day because we haven't practiced that much, and it's really hard for us to do that.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do the whole day, and then you come back together and you talk about it, and then you do another practice. It's going to be a game changer, I think, for the church, because the church is like super, super in love with truth in Scripture, and that's good. But we need to also be in love with the practices and the ways that Jesus lived. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't just die the perfect death; he also lived the perfect life, and so I think John Mark Comer speaks to that pretty well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the stuff I'm getting into.
I like that book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. Well, even practical things that he talked about that was like speeding, like going faster than you need to on the highway. Like even those sorts of things are like, because he talked about like even those moments are moments that you could be communicating with God, but if you're going fast, like why are you rushing? You're like,
Yeah.
you don't need to be. You know, like things, even small things like that, because he had
Is that why you drive slow now?
actually, yes, it was like a perfect timing of like I got a ticket and then I read this book.
Yeah, which one was it? The ticket or the
I mean, the ticket was no fun to pay, but
which came first, the chicken or the egg?
just little practical things like that I thought were pretty interesting application from him in that book.
Shawnee's done a really good job. She may not listen to this podcast in her car because she started to not listen to music or do anything in the car besides just sit and pray and listen.
Yeah,
Don't worry, she's praying with her eyes open, so
Okay, yeah.
we're safe. But
that's good.
Hands off the wheel, just
yeah,
As you're driving, for those of you just listening, I put
Jesus,
my
take
hands in
the
the
wheel.
wheel.
yeah, Taylor Swift action, right?
Yeah. What?
Or no, Carrie Underwood.
I don't know.
Did you just take the wheel?
Is that Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, I said Taylor Swift, but I meant
I
I
don't
was
think
like, I don't think Taylor Swift.
no.
sing that.
Yeah, so those are all really good things, and the hurry, the anxiety, the stress that we have is because of the way we're living, the speed at which we're living.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, and another thing he pointed out was that Jesus walked everywhere, and he was never in a hurry.
He never got in his car and drove.
No, yeah. They only, and
His
even when
Chrysler.
he was on
he
the
did get in the
donkey,
boat. He did get in the boat a bit too.
he did
but
get into the boat, but even then he was napping. Like
That
he
is a good
wasn't.
point.
No, I'm
That's
not
a
even
great
trying to
point.
make. A
I know,
joke. I'm being serious.
I know.
He was napping, and he was just
Sometimes he walked to
on.
get to
Yeah.
the boat on the water.
He's that much of a G, bro.
This guy's walking everywhere.
Uppercase G.
Capital G.
Capital G.
You guys think if Jesus had a car, he would have driven a Chrysler?
No. I hate that
You
joke.
think he would have?
That was good. He's gonna use it
That
on
was
some high
good.
schoolers.
It was good.
He's gonna use it in a lesson.
Sorry, I don't wear jealousy well. I was just jealous that you came up with that joke.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
What else do you guys want to talk about? I feel like we've had a really good discussion here. I've enjoyed it.
I've
You enjoyed it,
as
Carson?
well. Yeah, I've enjoyed
Eric,
it.
have you enjoyed it? Do you think it's
Oh yeah.
fruitful?
This is good.
This is
I have one quote
Yeah,
that
please.
I wanna
Please.
read, which I think is really
Yeah.
good. It's something that's challenged me.
Yeah.
It's by a Christian author and pastor that's passed away. His last name's Tozer.
Okay.
He went to Wheaton College, and he had this quote. And when he said this, when I read this, I was like, "This is amazing."
Mm-hmm.
What comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. What comes into our mind when we think about God is the most important thing about us.
Dang.
So what we think of God, and when we think of God, do we think of him as scary, loving, fatherly?
Mm-hmm.
When we think of God, do we think of creation? Do we think there is no God? You know,
Mm-hmm.
when we think of God, do we think of hope?
Mm-hmm.
That is the most important thing about us.
Wow.
And so I thought it was convicting, and I thought for sure, I need to be careful about my thought life and how I think of God, and make sure that the way I'm thinking of God is right, is the right
Yeah.
thinking of God, you know?
Yeah. What do you think is the way to correct if you have wrong thoughts about God? What's the most efficient way to? I don't know if is correct the right word?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even know if yeah, I think that part of it is knowing that you can have those thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and where do you take them? So like if I'm like, I don't think God has what's best for me, I'm going to go talk to my friend about this. Like, no, go talk to God about that.
Yeah.
Like, talk to God about not trusting him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of doubt in the scriptures, you know? And Jesus doesn't say, "Oh, you doubted, get away from me." He's like, "No, come over here, put your fingers in my nail wounds,
Yeah.
hand in my side," you know? Like, and I don't know if there's an efficient way of doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
I actually think that's not what God's goal is. I could be wrong. If this is a wrong thought, we'll talk about it more later, God.
Yeah.
But I don't think that efficiency is the goal.
Yeah.
Intimacy,
Is
not
the-
efficiency, but intimacy, I think would be the goal. You know, let's be intimate with God and talk to him and vulnerable.
Mhm.
So that's what I think I would say to
Yeah.
that. And I'll pray about it later. But I think that resetting yourself every morning, like just the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to spend time in prayer every morning before I touch my phone.
Mhm.
My phone's not the first thing that I touch. That's the goal. I didn't do it this morning, which was a fail. But going into another room, closing the door,
Mhm.
and sitting with the Lord. And I this is from one of the books that I was reading too. It could have been from Practicing the Way. I don't actually know. But it was this like monk that was like a dishwasher. Like he had like he wasn't high in the church.
Uh-huh.
And at one point somebody asked him like, "Why are you so like happy?" Or like what is the key of like life and relationship with God? And he said like, I think this is like referring to how he prayed. Is like he didn't say anything. He said, "God looks at me and I look at God and we're happy." I'm like, that's such a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
So I've literally in the morning, I feel like it's so weird. I'll literally just be like, "All right, God, you look at me.
I'll look at you.
I look at you. We're happy."
Yeah.
And like I literally can't say it without smiling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't think that I've ever believed that God's happy when he looked at me.
Mm.
And so speaking that truth, that God is happy when he looks at me,
Mhm.
And I'm happy when I look at him.
Well, because it's so easy to get caught up in shame, even on the littlest things.
Totally.
Not even in anything, I mean, especially when it's something, a big sin issue that you might be dealing with, but in the littlest things, like, it's so easy to get covered by shame.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a goal of the enemy a lot of times, because that's the easiest way to separate us from God.
It's paralyzing.
Yeah. But understanding, like you said, knowing what God says about you, knowing what the Word says, what the truth is. Because, I mean, yeah, if you don't, yeah, I would say my response to that would be same thing, talking to Him, reading His Word, knowing what the truth is, knowing what His Word says about you. Because then that'll, yeah, that's really good. I like that a lot. Sorry,
So,
I always get lost.
Be thinking about,
Yeah.
or be praying for me as I'm trying to do that more. I'm trying to just sit with the Lord and slow down.
Yeah.
Kind of some of the ruthless elimination of hurry style things too, you know. So I think there's two things that in the last year I've been trying to implement. Some with success, some without. Is somebody told me this and I felt really convicted. They said the death of spiritual maturity is entertainment. So
That's really good.
if you want to be spiritually mature, you cannot entertain yourself to all end.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything besides, this is great. You know, I don't have to think about how I feel. I don't have to think about how God thinks about things when I'm entertained. And I can just,
Convicting.
I can always watch another
It's
YouTube
convicting.
video.
Yeah.
I can always watch a related YouTube video,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
and not, and be like, oh, I'm learning something.
Yeah.
No, you're just busying your mind
Mm-hmm.
enough that you don't actually have to process anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I've been challenging myself. This is probably I'm probably stealing this. I stole everything because I don't have any original thoughts unless God throws it into my mind, which I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to listen more so I can have that. But it was something about like you got to get bored. You have to get bored with the Lord. Like something like that. You got to get bored with the Lord, so like
the Lord,
so that you can actually like start to hear from Him and stop like being entertained. You know.
Yeah. There was a book that Clark gave me.
Shout out Clark.
Shout out
Shout out Clark. Yeah.
Shout out Arkansas.
Shout out Arkansas.
Arkansas.
This is the Younglife area director that's moving to Arkansas.
Yeah, from Tulare County.
He's a beautiful bald-headed man with
yes, he
orange
is.
hair,
Orange beard.
a
yeah.
beard of fire.
Yeah. He gave me a book. I'm blanking on what it's called. It's a devotional, and so it has the scripture, a little word, not blurb, but a little paragraph talking about it, and then prayer. But before and after, you do 2 minutes of silence, just not prayer, but just silence. And the point is to clear your mind so that you can receive, not just talk, right? Because I mean, there's a place for us communicating with the Lord. We're called to, ask things of Him, but the point of the beginning and end was to receive, to listen, and turn. And I thought that was really good. And I feel like that
2 minutes of silence is a long time.
Oh, it's a long time, dude.
It's a lot longer than
and
you
he
think.
even talks about it, it's like, if 2 minutes, you start out with 1 minute, go to 2, and then if you can, go to 5, go to 10 minutes, and do as much as you can of just listening.
Hearing that reminds me a little bit of the idea that we were talking about earlier about like being interested, not interesting. Like I feel like our prayer life is often asking and talking instead of listening.
Yeah.
And so we're not interested in God enough, or like asking God, like walking down the street, God, how do you feel about this homeless person sitting here? I don't know how you feel. Like, I think I do. I know some scripture, but like, tell me how you feel about this.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel about the person that's arguing in the car right now with his wife while he's driving. I want to know how you feel about these things and listening.
Yeah.
So,
because we're constantly just giving and giving and giving and
and talking. That's a really good point. But I will say that along with that God is probably the most interested in us. Well, is even when, because there's grace for that, right? When we're
totally
just babbling.
Yeah, he's not like a high school kid.
No,
that
no, he's
doesn't
not like a
give
high school kid.
dang
Yeah.
about what
Yeah.
I got going
God's
on.
not
Praise-
rolling his
praise
eyes
God.
at us when we're
Yeah. And praise God for that, because no.
Yeah, we also do need to, for lack of a better term, shut up and listen.
Yeah, like me.
Tell me about it, Reese.
I know. Whatever. Anyway, well, is there anything else we want to talk about, Eric? Anything else? Any more bombs?
We haven't
you have
talked
for us?
about soccer.
Dude, we haven't talked about soccer.
I don't know if we want to.
I think we probably should. We don't have to talk too long about it. Eric, tell us about
I
your.
could be here all
You're
day.
a champion.
I am a two-time champion.
Two-time.
I played on 2 teams, and I got
And you got championships in both?
this last season at 1852.
Wow.
I got carried pretty hard. I got 2 really talented teams, and so it's a lot of fun. I play goalkeeper, and so I get concussions pretty much every time I play,
Yeah,
which
you
is
do.
great.
I don't know if I didn't tell you this, but I actually played goalkeeper for the very first time last week.
How was that?
It was the most
Terrible.
hilarious thing I've ever seen.
I
in
did
my
so bad.
life.
Actually, and shout out to Jacob. Jacob is normally our goalkeeper, but so we lost 14-4. We're pretty
Yeah.
bad.
That's a lot of goals.
We're pretty bad.
I scored.
14.
14-4, yeah.
Hey, you know
So
what's crazy? That's not even our worst game.
that's not even our
like,
worst game.
It's not that many goals for indoor, honestly.
But he let in 7 within the first half of the first
He was
half.
playing on an injury.
And then
as
I
well.
came in the second half of the second half and the entire second half and only let in 7 goals.
The second half of the second half and the entire second half.
So he played 1/4 of the game, and you played 3/4. Is that another way of maybe
yes,
communicating?
that is the much
Reese?
better way of communicating it.
Yes. And we let in the same amount of goals.
Jacob was
Dang,
playing on an
you're
injury
cracked.
though.
I know, I'm so good.
It was so
What type
funny
of
though,
injury?
because there was his knee. He can't really.
Yeah, I've had a knee injury for like 2 seasons
Uh-huh.
in there, and a wrist injury where I had to play with a brace.
Oh, dang.
And
did that
every
go?
time it hit, it like would go through my arm like
Oh, that
like,
sounds
feel like
painful.
it was absolutely terrible. But
You still did it though.
I did it, but I'm actually totally good now.
Wow. So
our
you're ready to
Our
play.
church went up to Hume and did a family camp,
Mhm.
and during that family camp, we were praying and worshiping and stuff, and I received healing, like full on physical healing. I've never experienced
Wow.
anything like that before. But I was like, Shawnee, I think my wrist is healed. Like before, I had like mobility like that,
Yeah.
okay?
Uh-huh.
And now I have like full
Full
range
mobility?
of mobility
Wow.
again, and
Dang.
it doesn't hurt. And I was like, and I think my knee's also healed, Shawnee. Like. That's pretty. I don't know what to think. This is crazy.
You're like freaking out. You're like, what?
I'm like, everybody else is just still worshiping, and I'm like, I need to try to do a push-up right now because I couldn't do a push-up because I couldn't
Yeah.
range of motion fully. So
Did
I
you do
literally,
a push-up?
so yeah, I got on my knees. You know, I was like worshiping, and I was like, all right. I went down on a knee, and it didn't hurt. Like I had crazy swelling in this knee,
Yeah.
and it was still a little swollen, but it didn't hurt at all.
Yeah.
So I went down to my knee, and I was like, oh, dude, this is crazy. And then I like did like a push-up, and people are probably like, why is
You
he
did a
doing
push-up
push-ups during worship?
During worship?
It's like, bro, he's really worshiping right now. He's doing push-ups.
He's
He's repping them out.
yeah, you are. That's what
You
I'm
know,
talking about.
So I've never experienced anything like that. I've been healed within my mind and
Sure.
within
Yeah.
my thought life and spiritual, and kind of been healed from like being in shame-based
Sure.
thoughts and stuff. Which all those things come back, and I was like, this is crazy. Like my wrist could get hurt again the first game I play, but this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah. So how was that? Like, how did you know that it was? Because you're worshiping, right? Were you just moving your wrist, and that's how you like? Or
Yeah,
did you
well,
just feel it. Like
No, it was
just
like they were
I've
like
never experienced it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm curious.
I've seen people healed before.
Yeah.
I just hadn't, and so they were asking if people wanted prayer for healing, and they were like praying over like somebody that had like a shoulder hurt. That was kind of like the more specific thing they were
Yeah.
going for. I'm like, heck, if you can heal a shoulder, might as well ask him about this knee and wrist. It's not that bad of an injury, but
Yeah.
it's still nagging. So I just prayed and asked God, hey, if you want to heal this, I'm open.
Yeah.
And then I was like worshiping. I'm like, wait a
Tested
second
it out.
here.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone is watching the video so that they
You
can
can
see
see
that.
can see.
I got full range of motion,
Yeah,
y'all.
full
Yeah, Rom, baby Rom.
Yep.
Rom.
So, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and
That's
I've never experienced anything like it. I was just so excited, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, but I think that I read the scriptures of healings differently now. Like I have a different perspective where like I don't think you have to be healed to have these perspectives, but I'm just thinking about it differently where it's like he said to some people, don't go and tell. And then for some, he let them go tell.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm like, oh, interesting. I never even asked God. I don't know if he told me to tell or not tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking of like, oh, okay, like it doesn't, like they were healed and it doesn't say he shared the gospel. It doesn't say that he shared much. He just says, go and sin no more. And they went on to live their lives. They could have never followed Jesus again. But I'm thinking like, this is a very interesting and feels like a strategic time where God decided to heal me when I'm in between two roles, where I'm going from Younglife to outreach ministry into the church ministry, and Radiant Church is pretty spirit filled.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I feel like he did this miracle, and this is so insignificant. I could have just stopped playing soccer for a couple months, and I probably would have been fine. But Jesus decided, hey, I'm going to do it this way, and embolden you and give you some like an extra filling of the Spirit. Like I felt way more filled with the Spirit after that, and like excited and way more joy.
Yeah. Did you end up telling people? Well, I mean, obviously you're telling us.
Yeah.
Like
This is it. Everybody here.
Yeah. This is my proclamation.
I mean, I told Shawnee, and then I've actually only told like 7 people.
Yeah.
'Cause I've only told people, in like conversations, not like I didn't go up front and be like,
I'm healed.
I'm healed, you know? Well, because it was towards the end, too. Like, it was like, and it just didn't feel like that was, I don't know. I was still doing push-ups trying to figure out if I was healed.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That's the greatest test.
For the rest
Just
of
do
the
push-ups.
service, I was just going to
Dude,
I hit 200, not joking. I couldn't move my arms the next day because I did so much push-ups, not joking.
Service ended. I was there for an hour doing
Yeah.
push-ups consecutively. I didn't stop.
They put on a different playlist, you know? It was like Forrest Frank to like be more hype when the push-up, not joking.
Yeah.
So that was just a crazy experience, and ever since then, I feel like I've had a couple other crazy experiences that have been breakthroughs, and I think I've stepped into them with a new boldness that I might not have had before.
Yeah.
Off camera before.
Because you experienced it.
Yeah, like just really quick, we went and got coffee. So I already shared this really quickly with you guys, but a friend of mine that I've been pursuing since high school to follow Jesus. Has just not wanted that and been living a different life and has had some really hard times because he was in the Marines and whatnot. But last night I got a phone call and I just was like, hey, I just want to tell you what, kind of the gospel is. Not like I haven't done this before,
Yeah.
And I want to tell you like what discipleship and following somebody as they follow Christ looks like and how you can be trained up. Because I don't think he feels like he has the competencies to follow God. He's like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, me neither. Crazy. Follow me. So I just said, hey, this is what it means to be discipled. And he's like, can you disciple me? And I'm like, I've been waiting a decade plus for you to ask that.
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
God is good.
And he's like, I was like, do you even believe in Jesus? He's like, I don't know, but I want to be discipled by you. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to find out if you believe in Jesus as we go here. We're going to go for it.
Yeah.
So,
dude, praise God. That's sick.
I had like tears in my eyes. It's been a decade plus of, fighting for this, wanting this,
Yeah.
And
that was literally last night.
it was last night. It was crazy. So, God's been just moving and opening up doors, and I'm just excited.
Opportunities.
I'm excited for the way the Spirit's moving, and be encouraged at home. God is moving.
Amen.
And if you want to have spiritual conversations and know why and how and what's going on, we're all here for him.
Yeah.
And there's probably people that know better, but
We're learning.
talk to them too.
We're learning.
Yeah, come learn with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just learning.
That's what we said on the last one because we talked. What did we do? We talked about doing difficult things.
Yeah.
But I was like, we're still learning though.
Yeah.
Not an expert in anything. I literally am not an expert in anything.
I'm an expert in being awesome, but that's just me.
I have seen that.
That's what, yeah.
I
Speak to that. I
I have tasted and seen.
receive all the awesomeness right now.
Is it because I said that you were interesting earlier? You're like,
Yes.
I don't think I'm
This
interesting.
is the
Awesome.
payback.
Your
Cool.
experience.
This
Cool,
is-
cool,
yeah.
cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
There was something else that I was reading earlier too, and it was kind of the idea that the amount of how is this phrased? I don't want to mess this up or butcher it.
Yeah, don't butcher it.
No pressure.
Kind of like when you lose wonder
Mm-hmm.
or awe of God, or like if you dang, what is it? Something like it's kind of like the idea of like don't limit your understanding of God because then you're going to be worshiping a God that's not worth worshiping.
Hmm.
So the
Put
idea
God
is
in a
like
box.
God's so big, and if you limit him to be like, oh, this is my God, and he would have to be this way. Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't actually know all the things of our God. And if we act like we do, if we say, oh, I know for sure this is exactly what God means in every verse and everything,
Yeah.
that's not a God that's worth worshiping anymore. You've limited God. You know
Is
what I
it
mean?
is it Ecclesiastes where he talks about the secrets of? I'm gonna butcher it, but it's something about the secrets that will.
It's in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere. My apologies.
I'm just glad that you tried to quote that.
Some-
I know the
You know what
I
I'm
know
talk-
the idea of the verse. I will
It's
not try.
Something
I'm
about
not
the
going to.
secrets of God that will. Gosh, my bad.
Well,
This
guys,
is-
there's
well-
something somewhere in the Bible that fits perfectly for what
Hey.
we're saying.
Yeah, how about you just read your Bibles?
Just
Yeah.
read the
buddy?
Bible. You know what?
Bible.
We can't
Someone-
really
And
tell
we'll
you.
read it too because
Yeah, yeah. 'cause
Can't really tell
clearly I
you what
don't
it
know.
is or where it is, but it's in there. And
That's
it
what I'm
works.
trying to be better about, like remembering where things are, because
I'm
I
terrible,
understand a lot of biblical concepts and a rough idea of where things are, but I'm trying to, as I study, get better at like learning where things are.
Yeah, I'm terrible at
Yeah.
like I can't pull anything. I can remember like what it says, but I have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
That's why the Bible app is my best friend, because if you like type in like roughly what it said, it'll like give you the
Yes.
things.
Yep.
So do you know
But I
what
wanna-
the verses say conceptually, or do you know
I
like,
don't
the actual verse?
pretty much just concept. Like I can't even name
Depends
the.
on the verse. I'm getting
Yeah, I
better
mean-
though. I'm getting
You got
better.
John 3:16 down?
I got John 3:16
Okay, good.
nailed, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Do you know John 3:16?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at memorization. Not that memorization is key, but I think that I even look at, like you said, looking at how Jesus lived. I like to look at the temptation of Jesus, right? Because he knew what God said, so he knew when Satan
Yeah.
told him what was wrong, or told him what Satan said, right? He knew that what he was saying was not
Yeah.
true and twisted and taken out of context. So I feel like not that I think there's going to be like a scripture memory verse before you go into heaven, you know. But I think it's important to
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
least start to memorize what these things say, so that way, because what does David say in Psalms? Put your words on my heart. Again,
I don't know.
I
That's
know
the
if that's
exact problem I'm
exactly what it
having.
says. Something like that.
All right, Carson, we got to cut him off. You can't.
Is that not true?
No, it is. But you just keep trying to quote verses.
I know.
You
I'm
don't
bad. I'm
You're
trying.
quoting
my best,
verses
dude.
to explain your argument on why we don't like what we.
How we need to know scripture, but
Yeah. But it's not
We're
like,
like, we don't
it's
know
not like I'm
scripture
just
and-
saying this and not trying. Like I'm actively like trying to be better about
Yeah.
these things.
yeah.
Well, that's good.
Sweet. Okay, what memory verse should we have memorized by the time you guys get on this pod next? You guys could even call me in, and I'd have to recite it.
Yeah.
First phone
It's like-
guest.
Let's do.
To be here for all but the 30 seconds that I recite the verse.
You can be our Mitchell as well. You can sit right there,
I'm not going to be your Mitchell,
right
but I
in front
love
of the
you.
live studio
Romans
audience. Is
5,
definitely
3
over
through
there.
4.
Which one?
Romans 5, 3 through 4.
You already have them written down.
Not the whole thing.
Okay. He's a
Okay.
cheater.
Romans 5, 3 through 4.
All right.
Perfect.
Next time we're gonna call Eric.
'Kay.
And we're gonna
I'll have
say.
it.
On the air. We can't forget
Easy.
now because we said it.
I know, because we said.
When is it going to be?
I don't know.
We never know.
We never know.
We know when they come out. We don't know
Wednesdays
Wednesdays
at midnight.
at midnight. Technically Tuesday at midnight.
No.
Tuesday night. Wednesday
Okay.
morning.
Whatever, dude.
I don't know. I don't know.
So you guys don't know when it comes out,
No,
actually.
it does.
We do at
It's
12
Wednesday at
a.m.
12 a.m.
Wednesday.
As soon as the clock strikes 12.
But when I hear Wednesday night, when you said midnight Wednesday night, that sounds to me like Wednesday going into Thursday.
Whatever, dude.
We need to stop.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here, buddy.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
It was a
Thanks,
great
this was fun.
conversation. It was
Mhm.
very fun.
This is really
I
good.
think it was fruitful. Do you think it was fruitful, Carson?
I think it was fruitful.
Yeah.
I do.
And
I could
so,
use some fruit.
What's your
actually.
favorite fruit?
We don't have time for another conversation.
Whatever. Eric, where can we find you at? Do you have Instagram? Anything you shout out? You use Instagram? I know you have it.
Yeah, I don't use it too much, but I have it. Yeah. So Erik von Schlick, all one thing.
What's that from? Is that like your middle name, or is that just like
it's my family. My family used to have the name von Schlick, and they dropped it when they came over to the U.S. So
Gotcha.
I brought it back a little
Yeah,
bit.
you did. Proud of you.
So Erik with
Like, I'm
the
bringing
K
back
and
Ruby.
then VON and then Schlick.
Have I ever
Just
told
like
you that my
Dr.
dad's
Schlick,
name
like
is Eric?
myself. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, our dad's name is Eric.
It's with a C, though.
It's a C though. Yeah.
Dang, tough.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Don't know.
Oh, well.
So you can find me there if you want. You can also reach out to any of these guys.
What's your
My-
phone number?
Yeah, I'll put the phone number out there.
Social Security while we're at it.
And
you know?
credit card.
Home address?
First name
maybe?
of pet, mother's maiden name. So yeah, reach out to these guys if you want my
Yeah.
phone number. If anybody wants to chat about anything, wants to hear about Radiant, wants to hear about Jesus, wants to hear about don't reach out about Spikeball.
Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina.
Nothing weird.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
weird. Carson, where can we find you? Who are you?
My name is Carson. You can find me on Instagram at the Carson Sapien. Right? It's
Amen. Yep. It's
Yes,
the-
the Carson Sapien. If you have any real estate needs, reach out. I'm awesome, and I'm happy to help.
Amen. You can find me at Reese Sapien. Also, DM me. Sign up for Reese Weekly. It's very informative. It's my. Are you on Reese
Ooh,
Weekly? My
no.
weekly newsletter.
It's
I'm
kind of
gonna
fun,
get your
actually.
email, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna put you on Reese Weekly. It's
You know
pretty
what?
good.
Give us your email on the pod.
I know your dad's a realtor, so you're gonna use him as a realtor, but it's still pretty entertaining. And I think it's.
Why do you think I'm gonna ever buy a house?
I'm just saying.
I don't know, but if you
If
do,
you ever
and
do,
if for some reason you don't want to
you
use your
should
dad
use
as a
your dad,
realtor,
though.
Oh,
yeah.
It's your dad.
I'll just throw out the most heinous thing to say to a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Is it biblical to own a house? No, I'm joking.
Gosh dang. And with that,
And
we're
we're
out.
done with
Thank
that.
you for listening
Wait,
to the Real
wait.
Stuff
We gotta have our takeaways. What are our takeaways? What are we gonna do?
What do you mean?
huh?
What are our takeaways? What
Oh.
what are we gonna do this week?
We're gonna memorize Romans 5:3-4.
are.
And then
gonna
so if you
not
guys want to
hurt-
do that with us,
Yeah.
do it with us. And then
Don't speed.
I'm gonna make sure I don't have my phone for like the first 15 minutes and just pray.
Yes, of your day.
I like this.
Let's do that. I'm gonna do
Takeaways
that
at
too.
the end of it. I like
That's a good
this.
idea.
What other
I'm gonna do that
takeaways,
too.
Carson? What did
What
you
I
take
need,
away?
I need it like what we kind of talked about earlier. Like when we're praying, like I need to shut up a little bit when I'm praying and listen, because I'm really good at just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't think that's always a bad thing, but I need to. I'm trying to get better at like listening.
Yeah.
I'm trying,
That's good.
I like it.
and so I need to. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think that the way we think about God too
Yeah. Yeah.
is the most important thing about us.
Mhm.
I wanted to leave with that quote, at
Let's
least for
leave with
me,
that.
because I think that's dope.
No, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. This is
Thank you for
dope.
being on, dude.
Yeah.
All right. This
Let's
has
go
been
play spike ball.
Let's get
Let's go.
amen. All right. Thank you for listening. See you next week on the Real Stuff Podcast.
Bye bye.